Hey guys, all right, so here comes obstacle number one here. It's day one, more or less, and I have a lunch meeting with an old friend from university, and we're heading to a place called Yamato. It's a teriyaki type joint, and I've been there before, great food. However, I know there's quite a bit of butter that goes into the rice, the fried rice and whatnot. So I have some options here. Now I've done my calorie count and decided to go in a little bit of a surplus, just for the purposes of, even though I have some multiple goals, I just want to make sure that I'm eating enough to meet those goals. At the same time, I was a little bit worried that if I was in a deficit, I wouldn't recover nearly as well as I would if I was in a little bit of a surplus. So for anybody who cares, I'm in a 3,000 calorie per day type thing on the 4 days I'm training. On the 3 other days, at this moment, I'm gonna fast and try to get probably like 2,800, 2,500 calories. But I'm not a great faster as far as getting all my meals in and things like that. So we'll see how that goes. But in the end, the fasting is just one way to make sure that I'm in a deficit, so I'm losing a little bit of body fat. But we'll see how my training goes. If my training starts suffering, I have no qualms about adding in some food and bumping up those calories to 3,000 even on my off days. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I'm heading to Yamato right now. This is kind of obstacle number one. However, my willpower right now is quite high. It's a new program. I'm doing a vlog. I got everybody behind me. I got some other goals that this is going to help towards. Right now, willpower is high. This should be no problem. For what we know about willpower definitely depletes quickly, especially if you have other things going on in your life. If there's other stresses, financial stress, relationship stress, whatever it may be, work stress, blah, blah, blah. That all depletes willpower as well. So if you think of willpower as like a well and you're constantly taking from it and never putting back in, then eventually you will fail. Now, failure is just feedback, but at the same time, it's failure. Okay, so if I'm going to go to this luncheon or whatever it may be, and my willpower is low, if the gentleman holds up the garlic butter, I know how good it tastes. I've been there before, and I'm like, just a little extra, few extra calories here and there. It's not going to hurt me. It's those few extra calories that continue to, today, tomorrow, the next day, that add up, that by the end of it, you are now in a huge surplus. So we're going to try and keep that to a minimum. Like I said, willpower is high. There should be no problem, and we'll go from there. All right, so we went to Yamato, but we couldn't get in. I'm kind of on a tight schedule, so couldn't get what I wanted, but we came here to a place called Terry's. And so now we have obstacle number 1B. Anyway, so I'm going to show you what I ended up getting. Alright, so we got just a regular salad here with cranberries and some cheese for some greens. Got a chili roasted salmon, probably a little bit light on the protein for myself, but we'll figure it out. And butternut squash here, about a cup. That equals roughly my macros. So luckily we found somewhere to go, and looking forward to Yamato next time. All right, I just had this amazing hour-and-a-half talk with a new client who came into the clinic here in Toronto, who was truly addicted to sugar. Now, there's some argument out there of the definition of addiction when it comes to sugar and other things, and that's fine. I don't care where you stand on that. But being addicted to sugar or being addicted to eating is something that is a little bit different, because it's something that we still need to do as opposed to being addicted to a drug, okay, where that's not something we need to sustain life, but we need to eat. So this is where it becomes a little bit tricky. But this lady came in, she just had a great mentality to life with training, with eating and everything else, but she had this one issue. And, she's been to a bunch of other people, a bunch of doctors. She's seen other trainers. She's seen other, I think, dietitians and nutritionists as well. and they've all tried to, like, cold turkey her and cut all this sugar out of her diet. Her goals were not weight loss or weight gain. So she was at an ideal body weight, but just had a few other issues, potentially some leaky gut issues, and some other food sensitivities, and some of the things of how she felt. But she'd been to so many other people who told her to cut sugar completely out of the diet. Now, I don't go that approach because I know from behavior change that this is not going to happen for majority of people out there. So we talked, and even though I do agree that she probably does need to cut down, well, she does need to cut down on her sugar, and because it will help with a few other issues. She has osteoporosis and things like that. But I told her, all right, well, from what I understand of you, I would probably suggest that you could have, or that I suggest that you have a little bit of sugar every night or every day, depending on when you want it, as opposed to not having it. Because now, as I work with her on her nutrition, increasing her protein, she didn't eat very much protein, so increasing her protein, which increases her satiety, balancing her meals out with carbs and fats, that eventually she probably won't feel the need to eat a cookie or some sort of sugar each and every night. But if she does, we now have a game plan that she can have a little bit and she doesn't have to feel bad about it. She can feel okay about it, that it's part of her diet long term, and that she can have some more again 24 hours later or with next day, as opposed to, those of you who follow more of the cheating once a week type thing. Whereas when I followed this plan, I would love it, but as soon as I finished, I couldn't imagine waiting another 7 days to do it again. So for me, I personally cheat, or allow myself to cheat every day. Now, whether I take advantage of that or not is a totally different story. So I started off my blog by saying that I wanted to lose a little bit of body fat in my first vlog. But then at the end of it, I told you guys that we were going to put the tree up and I was going to have rum and eggnog. And I did. And I had 2 glasses of rum and eggnog, which is like 480 calories of eggnog, in addition to the 3 ounces of rum. But I planned for that, and I was okay consuming that. So even though we need to cut her sugar down in the grand scheme of things, having a little bit here and there is not going to be the end of the world. Now, on a side note, with as much sugar as she was eating, and she was eating a lot, her glucose and everything else was just fine. Her HbA1c was fine. Her fasting glucose was fine. And that is because she also trains 4 days a week with a trainer, which helps to use up that glucose in the blood. But it also goes to show that just because you eat sugar or carbohydrates, if you follow that tribe, that you are not just going to become obese, because she wasn't. She was really lean. And you're not going to have diabetes right away. Okay, so let's put those claims, those myths to bed. Let's take those books off the shelf. Okay, and really understand that these diseases, diabetes, heart disease, I'm missing a big one here, cancer. Yes, sugar doesn't help, but it's being obese, being overweight, that is probably the #1 precursor to all these diseases. One other thing that I want to mention today that is a first that happened today, and with this client, is we're talking about addiction, and I mistaken the word corn for porn. That was a first. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, leave comments down below. All right, we're going to see Creed. The boys here with a crazy grin. Myself, the second time to see Creed.
I'm nervous.
Why are you nervous?
I'm scared you guys are gonna punch me during my second time as well.
Second time. Tara's upstairs already. Her second time.
The aggression is already coming out. I'm terrified.
This is a long ass elevator ride. That's all I'm talking about. Long ass.
You need to be more entertaining.
Now, this is also a second obstacle. and we are prepared with a quest bar here to make sure that I'm not eating
In the name of
popcorn
good
and
health,
shit.
in the name of good health, I'm gonna be having layered butter, popcorn, maybe a burger and fries, poutine, whatever.
Can I have Skittles?
You can have
Skittles.
whatever you want.
Yes.
But I'm having a quest bar.